Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your stock watch list for Tuesday, the 28th of May. Today is Monday. It was a holiday today. Uh, at the end of this video, there'll be another video attached if you want to know what economic information is coming out for the week ahead. Also, what earnings. We also go through some of the worst and bad stocks. We go through all the markets. So catch that. Stock Talk, Market Watch. Let's get ready for the week ahead. Once again, that'll be attached to the end of this video. So be on the lookout for that if you want to check that out. So let's go ahead and a quick thought on the SPY here. All right, so we'll go to a chart with not so many lines. So as you can see, we're kind of broke down from this uptrend in the SPY. We've had a great V bottom. All right, now we've kind of broken that uptrend. So we're all watching this 280 area. We have a flat 200 SMA. Makes it a little more difficult for swing traders right now. The market has been very choppy. If we go ahead and look at this SPY on the weekly chart, though, now after this big run, you would expect a little bit of a pullback. And right now we're right around the 20 SMA on the weekly chart and that 280 area on the SPY, 2800 on the SPX. But after that big run, that bounce off the 200 SMA on the weekly chart, right now we're below the 10 SMA on the weekly for the SPY. And right now I'd say it's just a pullback, but the market is vulnerable right now. So we'll leave it at that. Trump was in Japan over the weekend. Not too much to report on that. No deals made between China and the United States. So let's go ahead and we'll get into the watch list. But for those Tesla folks, out there, and believe me, I'm not trying to pick sides or anything for Tesla. Okay, we intraday trade it. I just want to remind you that just be careful, all right? Have stops in place. If you remember Enron, all right, everybody remember Enron? That stock went from 90 to 0. Not saying Tesla is going to do that, just pointing out that it can happen. You never know here. We got WorldCom also was a big stock. And this one back in 99, and then this thing went all the way down to 0 here. So just a reminder, people are saying, buy Tesla here, buy Tesla here, and as you know, stock is rolling over. I would say this, if you're interested in Tesla, 180 looks like an interesting spot for Tesla to hold on the weekly chart here. 180 is being bandied about. But wherever you do take Tesla, don't let your ego get in the way. Use stops. You can always either get back into Tesla if it continues to move down, right? You have 140 over here, was a spike bottom back in 2016. But right now, a lot of folks, we're all watching this 180. If that breaks, we could head back down to about 172.50, and then after that, about 140. So I don't know, a public service announcement on Tesla here. Just be careful trying to catch falling knives, all right? It's been done in the past, and there have been a lot of accounts that have blown up because of it, all right? All right, so let's go ahead and get into that watch list for the week. So, semis have been getting smashed, right? The SMH, as you know, has been moving down quite a bit. It broke this uptrend. It's been down a lot of dealings with China and whatnot. So, but, AMD through it all has been moving up. And then right now we have Bitcoin. Moving up quite a bit here over the weekend. Talked about it on the previous video also, but Bitcoin is making a nice push up here from that 8,000 level. At one point, it pushed down to about 7,200. And now we're back up here at 8,700 for Bitcoin. So, AMD is a player in that space. Some of their products are used to mine Bitcoin. Also, NVIDIA. So maybe this Bitcoin move up will have NVIDIA moving back up on this name. So AMD, like I said, this one will be on watch. NVIDIA will be on watch. 130. is a possible area for NVIDIA. All right, I'm not saying it's going there tomorrow, but 145 is trying to hold here right now. If we do break this 145, we could head back down to maybe this 130 area where it mounted a push last time. So keep an eye on NVIDIA if they continue to move that down. Now, the futures open up tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll put the link for the real-time futures down in the comments section. I'm doing this video at 5:37 p.m. Eastern Time. If I'm still on, I'll bring over the futures. All right, but like I said, first one up is AMD. It's been battling this 50 SMA. Hasn't made much headway, but I'm going to keep it on watch. APHA over in the cannabis space. Volume, nice volume came into this thing. 12, 13 million shares on Friday, starting to maybe turn it around here a little bit. The high on Friday was 743, so maybe over that 750 area gets this APHA pushing up. CGC will also be watching this one. They don't have anything to do with China, so that's good. And we are at the 100 SMA again here on CGC, that $44 level. If they can get it back above 45, you may see a push in that one. Cronus Group still holding above $15, so I like that. Struggling a little bit with this $16 area at the moment, but I'll be watching Cronus Group intraday and for possible swing trades. Some other names in that space, NEPT. Holding up very well here. NEPT has been holding up above the fast-moving averages. Volume 500, over 500,000 shares. Has this 430 area, 435, and then 450 after that on NEPT. It's a company out of Quebec. Another cannabis name that I'll be watching is ACB, which doesn't look like much right now, but if the cannabis names do start turning back up, we are holding above $8 at the moment on ACB. So if they start turning this one back up, this is the one where Nelson Peltz got involved in, and we have that $9 number up ahead. So ACB will be on watch. Some other names I'll be watching, Fate in the biotech space has been holding up pretty well, flagging here below $19 high on Friday, 19.14, maybe 19.20 is enough to get this one going. Would like to see a little more volume come into this name. FNKO for swing traders out there. It popped up, needs to get up over this $22 area. If it does that, might be an interesting swing trade. Have a little small cup here, a handle. It's been kind of trending up. It's holding above the 50 SMA. Keep it on watch. GH in the biotech space, that $80 number has been resistance, right? That big round number 80. We're holding above the 50 SMA. Also, this stock just did an offering. That's what pushed it down to the 20 SMA. But dip buyers showed right back up on this thing, GH. So good strength there on that name. Another name that had some news. What was it? Thursday. It got this big volume expansion. MAXR had news with NASA popped up. Notice to that $9 area where there's obviously a seller supply up there. And so it popped up there the first time the news came out. Then on Friday, they kind of backed it off here a little bit, 7 million shares. So we'll keep it on watch. Don't know if it's going to do much. You have a declining 200 SMA on this name, but we'll have it on watch. I showed you the Bitcoin chart, so some other names that'll be on watch. RIOT is in that space. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, holding above 358, 360. So I would imagine this thing will get going Tuesday. Mara is another one in that space, holding above the 50 SMA. Had these pops here up to 375. Got this pullback here to about the 50 SMA. So I would think maybe this one is going to start moving back up if they, if they participate because of the Bitcoin cryptocurrency. TEUM is another one. On its own, though, even if crypto wasn't moving up, this one is holding up very well. It looks like it may be making another charge to get through $5 on TEUM. Some other crypto names that you might want to watch. NXTD is another crypto stock. Doesn't look pretty on the daily chart at all. NETE, this is the one I believe John Najarian is on the board of, so you might want to keep an eye on NETE. GCAP is another crypto stock. Grow, none of these look pretty right now. Grow is another crypto stock. DSS is also in that space. DSS, nothing pretty there at the moment. IDEX, another crypto name, and let's see if Overstock, right? Having some trouble with the CEO selling out some shares here, tried to bounce a little bit. Maybe this one gets moving. It has a little bit of a connection with cryptocurrency. Square also has a connection with cryptocurrency SQ. So that's another name you might want to keep an eye on. DPW also in the crypto space. This was an under 20-cent name though on that one. So that's a few names. XNet is a China name, but also involved with cryptocurrencies. But that daily just looks terrible, and also it's a China name, so might have a little bit tougher time. And of course, there's Kodak and SRAX is another one. In that space for cryptocurrencies. If this thing can get back over $5, you see we had this nice run up. It's been consolidating here, holding above the 50 SMA, closed at 476. Volume 130,000 shares on Friday, but maybe this starts getting some volume again with Bitcoin moving up. Some other stocks that I'm going to be watching. OTLK has that $3 area up ahead on OTLK. It's been getting some nice volume in it, so keep this one on watch for Tuesday and also the week ahead, I would say, unless it starts to fade off. But Pins also another name. Kind of making a double bottom or liking this $24 level here, bouncing off of it a few times. 26 seems to be in the way right now on Pins, recent IPO. Plug has been holding up. You had this big run up in Plug. It's consolidating here, holding above the 50 SMA. In that space also, Ballard Power had a nice run up, so maybe Plug wants to follow. FCEL, not much going on there. Plug looks a lot better than in that space. So Ballard Power maybe gets Plug moving. So keep an eye on Plug. Over in the software space, look at this basing action here on SMAR software application has that $44 number that it's been trying to break out above. It's been trending up, holding that $40 area, holding above the 50 and the fast moving averages on SMAR. 1.7 million came into this name on Friday. Now, if the markets, you may need some defensive stocks. You might keep an eye on AT&T. Verizon is another name that you might want to keep an eye on in this space. Both are holding up well, so if the market starts pulling back, you might want to take a look at AT&T and Verizon. Some other names I'll be watching intraday. Tesla, like we talked about at the beginning of the video. Target has been showing good strength, so I'll be watching this one. If they start to pull the market back, maybe we get a nice entry here around $78. We'll see. Depending on how much the market pulls back. Always watching Twitter. You had this gap up after earnings. We're holding above the earnings gap up here, so that's good around that $37 area. Needs to probably get above 38 to get going again, but Twitter on watch, holding up. Very in the smaller caps, smaller priced names, flagging here, holding up. Looks like it's trying to softly, quietly break back up on Very, so keep that one on watch. VSLR over in the solar space has been holding up, held above the 10 SMA, holding above 650 on VSLR. Keep it on watch. Another name I'll be watching is WKHS, electric trucks here. Been, if it gets back above this $1.75 spot, $1.80 spot, maybe there's another push up in this name. It is holding this $1.50 and 20 SMA on WKHS. Walmart, like we said, has been very strong. I think I talked about it on the other video. Has this 103 area, and then maybe 103 break gets you that push through 104. 4.5 million shares traded in that one. WPRT looking good here after this big run up, consolidating above 225, 275 up ahead on WPRT. 600,000 shares on that name. And then we'll end it here with Zixi, all right, also in that software space. They had earnings. They had that gap up after the earnings. They popped it all the way up to $11. It's pulled back and it's holding above that earnings gap here. We pulled back to about 850. Now they're starting to turn it back up. So maybe over the highs from Friday, 955 area for Zixi. And that's it. That's my watch list. I would say also TIVX. All right. Depending on what kind of market we're going to have. Right. Look at all these lines on the chart. We intraday trade TIVX at Zozo Stockwatch all the time. So keep your eye on TIVX and TZA is an inverse. SDS, SPXU, SDS. Depending on what kind of market we're going to have. All right. And then we'll be shorting some stocks if the markets decide that they really want to get ugly. We'll lean towards the short side, and we'll also be keeping an eye on our trade ideas scanners in the morning to see what's moving on news, and also stocks being moved by news. And we'll have our trade exchange up for that for our audio news throughout the day. All right, this is Mike from Zozo Stockwatch. I hope this video helped you. Please hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Hit that subscribe button. Help this channel to grow. And I think you have some really good ideas out there, whether the market is leaning to the upside, downside. Keep an eye on those crypto plays. And once again, with Tesla, don't be last man standing. All right, you can always get back in. Let it form a little bit of a bottom. Let it base so you don't have to catch the whole move, just some of the move. All right, and this is Mike from Zozo Stockwatch. Have a good day trading tomorrow, and we'll be back at it with another video tomorrow night.